Hey, some shadows and lions and my hands and sketches and drawings. Let me just adjust the seat properly, sit down, be humble, and continue or start what I'm doing. I hope that the camera shakes well enough for that thing. Petersburg secrets. A lot of them. One of the secrets was that people used to eat people in St. Petersburg when there was this horrible blockage or blockade of St. Petersburg many years ago. I don't remember exactly the dates. People tried to keep it secret, but there you go. I told you that. Horrible times. The only thing that you can remember those times with is just with a laugh. Funny shit. Like this exact graffiti style fucking, I don't know what is that. I think that when I bought this sketchbook, I had it for some time and I was like, well, fuck it, I just need to do something, and I drew this as my first drawing. It goes like M, R, and K. So N, like where M and R is the same letter. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been writing this. Is it acronym? But it doesn't stand for anything. It's just syllables. It goes for Merk or Murky, or in Russian, Marak. Yeah, that's what I would write on the walls. Oh, this is one of my more prolific creations. This is actually the code to eternity. Take a snapshot. You'll definitely get the keys to all the dimensions and everything. Oh, look at that. This is something interesting. Yeah, it's some sort of a... the fuck is that? Canyon or the road. And there is this creature which is living under the water. I don't know. I think that it was the period of time when I was watching or reading again some of the Lovecraft novels. I don't remember them. Actually, they were in Russian when I was in Russian translation when I was reading them, about the dream place where the guy was always getting into the same dream, and then he was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the end in his dream, and he saw all these weird creatures. And also the something of the madness. Also, those were two like really wow, really great things. So I just pulled out those creatures out of there and gave them a bath. So they're just here in this canyon swimming. So don't go there. Don't go cliff diving, because you might just get sucked into this weird thingy with those little fucking hands and this shits, whatever that is. But the spruces or the fucking what is that? What is it called? This fucking pine trees are awesome though. So maybe ignore this and go and pick up some pine cones and maybe like meet some squirrels and shit. But no cliff diving. It's dangerous just because of this particular thing over there. I believe that there was something else. Oh yeah, there it is. A sketch. There's my dream tree house. Not finished yet, but you know, there's the tree, and there's some window looking like things. I don't know what's that. I think those are the mushrooms that are growing on the tree that you can nibble on. You just fucking get out from the window and just take a bite, and there you trip for fucking 3 days and realize that you are not this is not a tree house at all, and it's a doll house actually. And you were sitting in your room and just touching yourself inappropriately. over here. This is the place where you would touch yourself inappropriately. On the doorknob, but without the door, just on your knob. Oh my god, so much funny things are happening with this guy. I mean, I just need to open up my stand-up show. And only these guys will come and take a look at it. So, when I was drawing it, I was like, this guy, this rabbit, he looks very angry. He's not satisfied at all. He's like, you saw something that you were not supposed to see. Of fucking course, look at that. Who the fuck is that? Is it like a fucking elk or some reindeer with a fucking wolf head? And then what is this? Is it a body with what? There's fucking pine trees growing on top, and he came to drink some water from the well. I mean, people are going, I mean, what is this? People are coming here to drink this water. Probably there is like nothing else, no clean water, is fucking kilometers, miles around, and then this just creature comes and fucking spits there and drinks from the same well as all the other people. Of course the hare would be not, it's not actually even angry, it is blushing. Look, it's blushing because now it knows that you know that this thing is, and this guy is like, oh no, we're busted. And he's like, Carl, everything is fine, just they will forget about it. It's like, no man, not this time. Like, it's okay, it's okay. So yeah, now you know. So don't fucking drink from that well, because you know. Oh, that's the same treehouse, but from a different angle. Not. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I have this obsession with tree houses. I really wanted to have one. Like when I was a kid, I was like watching Simpsons and I was like, damn, even Bart Simpson has a fucking tree house. And me with all my coolness and awesomeness and fucking whatever, what do I have? Beautiful ears. Yeah, that's what I have. No, eyebrows. Ears, yeah. This is the most outstanding part of my body, which is like the most sexiest place. That if you don't look at my ears ever, because you'll lose your mind. Yeah, what was it about? It was about tree houses. So yeah, that's the fucking tree house where I would be living and copulating with women. Of course, it would be all consensual, because who else would who wouldn't want to come and have a nice time with me in a treehouse, you know? Of course, only beautiful ladies. But as you see, it's not finished yet, because the people that are building this fucking staircase, they said that they ordered new materials. They had to ship them back because of some sort of issue that had to be done with the customs, that turned out to be that this particular stone was like A-listed, so they cannot do it anymore. So they had to find the same price amount, the same weight and so on, but the different stone, and now it's like stuck somewhere. It's just, you know, fuck that. I mean, like, it was easier for me just to, you know, bring my own stone and just to make it, and I just, you know, and this is where I am right now. I can't finish the construction. I cannot, you know, have sexy time with cool, awesome ladies because of that shit, you know. So that's lame, but yeah. Ooh, look at, oh, this, ooh, nice. Look at this particularly standing out nose, like this one. I don't know the proper name for it in English, but it defines the character of this person. It's the Greek. What is that? Profile? No? How do you fucking call it when you're looking like straightforward? And then you have the fucking side view. I guess it would be a side view. I don't know. I'm making up words. This fucking design words. Fuck it. overacting. Overacting is a part of me. I overdo things a lot. I'm exaggerating. You know why? Because, I don't know, I like to do that. Because that's what I do. So, check this out. There's something going on. There are some horns, there's some eyes, there's some slimy shit all over. There's some weird letters going on. Oh man, I mean, I really love this kind of drawings. I don't do them often. I used to do them like a lot when I was just like getting into the drawing process. And there you go. I'm like, I'm doing it not that often, and that's why now I try. Whenever I come back to drawing this, I'm like, whoa, this is so cool. I like the way how the portrait started to become more readable. You know what I mean? Just you look at it and you're like, oh shit, I can see a person, and you're not like, it reminds me of a human. But you can see that everything is proportional. I fucking love to do that now. What is else there? This guy going somewhere. We're not gonna talk about that, but we're gonna talk about this. How does it go actually? I think like this, I guess. Maybe, no, maybe like this. But it always that I'm always just turning them around because it's really hard to say how this goes. Sometimes I forget about it. That it's actually pretty cool that I don't know how it goes because it is motion. And motion cannot be actually somehow predicted in a way. I mean, you know, if you think about it, just think, what is this? It's a particle. It is an enhanced, enlarged, fucking zoomed in particle of some sort that is just living its life. And I'm like, hey, yo, stop. What you doing? Let me draw you. And he's like, is it okay if I stand like this? And I'm like, you know what? Just move your fucking this little. What is that? What do they have? This like little enlarged part of their body, just on a side. Exactly that thing. Move it a little bit to the right. And it speaks like this. Is it okay if I do like that? It's a little bit slow. It has issues. Yeah. That. Ooh. What is this? I can see a hand. It's very friendly. Is it like this? Or is it not? What is happening? I started to forget how my drawings look like and what is that. This is when you had too much. Too much is when you just cannot understand that what is happening and your arms and your legs are just moving separately and you're like, am I not an octopus? I think I'm an octopus. But you are not. You're a human. But you just had a little bit more than you were supposed to. The second one was, should not have done it. Yeah, but you can turn it any way you want, and just like your girlfriend after several years of dating, you just can turn any way you want. Yeah, as if I know. Oh, damn! Whoa. Look at the colors and look at that, like, sight. This guy looks like he has seen a lot, and then at the same time he's been thinking a lot, and then he was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna go Antichrist, and fucking made a tattoo of an inverted cross on his forehead. But actually he goes and tells everyone that he is Saint Peter's fucking whatever, and he's like, I cannot be like Jesus, I cannot be like the Savior, I'm not even close to being a Savior, so that's why I'm going to put myself an inverted cross. And also you can crucify me like this as well, because I'm not worth it. And it's everything written in his eyes. It's I guess it's Saint Peter, but the early age. Like, he still has his looks, the curls and things like that. Yeah, but the eyes are like, he's like, I am what they call a thinker. I am the one that is looking into the depth of life and finding information. Don't mind my curly hair and my fat lips that are good for kissing and doing something else, because he has blue eyes and curly hair. Well, I guess he's one of those guys. Oh, hello. I remember you. I didn't like you. I fucking didn't like you. And I didn't like you because of this shit color. It's like diarrhea. Somebody fucking put diarrhea on her nose and her lower lip. But that shit. I don't know. New organic makeup. I'm sorry. Yeah. But yeah, I think that the colors are like cheap. It's cheap. It has cheapened it out. I remember when it was black and white. When it was black and white, it was just fucking top. Now, it's like shit. I think I was in a bad mood. Yeah. I used to date this horrible person. Very, very bad person. And yeah, I guess she has some diarrhea on her lower lip now. You deserve it. What is that? What is this? Is this some... I think I was trying hard. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make some constructivism and then add something of my own, and it will be fucking awesome. And then I just got distracted and I was like, maybe next time. And you know, I just stopped doing it. So yeah, I need to finish that one. But I guess this is some sort of a traveling, how can you call it? Like a traveling, Jesus fucking Christ. Traveling fucking sketchbook, my ass. I couldn't compute words because of this awesomeness. And it says in Russian, what is that? Это что? Because he's screaming and then looking at the same time. Look at this. I think this is ingenious. I think this is fucking awesome. This is just, wow. That's what it is. That's what it is. And I think that this is one of the first, like the start of the drawings that I started making now more, where I'm adding some abstract expressionism here with some basic, you know, abstract forms, Tashism and things like that into something more readable, and then I mix it with some comic style. As you could understand, like I don't mind using stylizing, which means that I don't mind some, you know, funnies as well, which having this comic style would somehow resemble it. But the biggest problem is just not to really go deep into that, and not to become really this kind of a person that stylizes everything, because stylization is okay, it's good, graphic style is really good, you know, I cannot say anything bad about it, but we're talking about art here as a mean of something serious, and serious would be definitely making something more academic and more complicated, like using even pastel colors would be already something serious. Because watercolor techniques and something like that, they are still considered as graphics, and graphic style is still some sort of a, you know, it's not painting, for instance. It's not making art with paints, oil paints, for instance. So it's a little bit different. So in the big boy game, you know, you cannot be a big boy when you're drawing like things like that. This is a sketch. It is a good sketch. It's a sketch of a young man or a young artist, and it's okay just to show like this, maybe, you know, digitally, or just say something. But for me, like as a person that is planning to become more serious, and during the summer I had one of my works in an art museum already. So art museum is a serious place where you don't want to put some artwork it doesn't matter if some people invited you to put some art in art museum and it looks like this. It's the problem of the the people who organize the exhibitions and lack of information, and maybe just the lack of good artists. But you don't do that. You don't put not that serious artwork into a museum because, well, it's just respect to tradition, basically. That's how I see it. Maybe 5 years from now, when I'm extremely wealthy and very famous artist and everybody knows my name, I would be like, you know what, fuck you. I will buy myself a museum and put whatever I want to do that. Because I was reading this book by Hans Ulrich someone Ürst, someone like that. I'm so sorry that I mispronounced his name, but it's just a combination of different artists which have been curators that have been just sharing their ideas about how they have been curating their exhibitions and whatnot. And some people who are making exhibitions in museums, they are still considering the idea of having this in traditional style, and some are still talking about experimenting and whatnot. I cannot bring up the names from my head, but that's pretty much that you just it depends on which tradition you're trying to follow. I'm a little bit conservative sometimes, surprise surprise, but sometimes I'm not, and I'm just I'm like a ping pong from one direction to another. When I get more information in one field, I'm like, yeah, that's right, that's how you should do. And then I'm like, but then I have some proof from another point, and I'm like, oh, well, that sounds also, kind of that I can trust. Yeah, it sounds trustworthy. So what I did here, in my previous videos, I mentioned about this guy, the Viktor Popkov, the style severe, the redrawing, the remix that I made. This one was the first one that I made. This is Petr Konchalovsky. He was one of the originators of such an organization which was called Bubnovy Valet. How the fuck you translate that shit into English? I don't even know. It's quite late now and my brain doesn't work in that direction. But it was one of the first avant-garde collaborations. And it's a card. It's a card. But I will talk about this next time, a little bit more deeper. Maybe several videos from now, I will just go back and talk about some ideas behind it, because at the moment I just cannot pull out the facts from my head. I wanted to make a separate video about this particular drawing, but it just turned out that it just popped out like this now. So what is the idea? This guy and some other guys, Larionov and his wife Goncharova and some other people also, they just made this coalition, which was based on the idea of implementing what was happening in France with the whole modernism and the whole idea of using the basic techniques which have been at that moment very popular, the pointillism technique and the way how they would use the impressionism, so how they would just be interpreted by Russian artists, because Russia at the moment was totally different. Those people, they were wealthy people. They had money, they had education. They were doing it as a sidekick, their side gig. And it wasn't their main idea. Those were wealthy people and very intelligent people, and they had really good education. While in France, people who were doing art, they were living by, they would sell one painting and they would eat like several days. These people didn't have to do that. They were wealthy people. They had their mansions and whatnot, and they wouldn't be called slaves, but people that would just work for food and look after their land, like peasants. So I didn't think about this particular guy because there were different layers of those people and different classifications, but this guy was, you can see by the way he's dressed, he's fucking wealthy motherfucker. So yeah, and the difference between the avant-garde, which was in France, for instance, and the avant-garde, which was in Russia, was that in France it was too fucking real. Like, you know, they would definitely live by selling paintings, and nobody would fucking buy those paintings because no one understood that. You know, everybody was used to Renaissance artworks with the very precise paintings and drawings in the most like delicate and precise manner. And then comes like something like this, you know, like Monet or Degas, for instance, or Cezanne. Cezanne was the first one who started doing those things. But then again, if you compare Cezanne, for instance, to Larionov's works or Goncharova's works, Goncharova was a big fan of Cezanne, you would see that there is a big difference. It's like you can understand what's the original and what's the fucking repost. What was the copy? And of course, Russians were making copies. But then later on, in later years, they caught on because of the possibilities that they had, like good life conditions. So what I did, I just took that, redrew it. It was his self-portrait that he drew himself, and I added fucking my own details because I own this shit. This is mine. This is fucking mine, and I own it. How I own it? Because it's a part of my culture, and it's a part of my heritage, and I know something about it, and I can do whatever I want with it. But not in a bad way, but in a good way. I remixed it and I made it like so that it is mine with so much respect, and I own art in that sense, just because I fucking love it so much that I just take it and make it mine. But I do understand that it is not mine, of course, because it's a totally other living being. So we have this kind of a quarrel sometimes that the art tells me like, I want to have freedom, you don't let me breathe. And I'm like, yo girl, hey baby, you're stressed, let me kiss you on the neck. And she goes like, no, I don't want to do that. And she starts to act up, and I'm like, you know what, fucking pack your shit and go back to your mama. And she's like, no, I don't want to do that, I love you. And she starts like crying and shit, and I'm like, yo baby, okay, come on, I love you. And then we have a makeup sex and everything is great, and then we have those little fucking art little babies like this, and that's just fucking great. Okay. Yeah, so that's where I'm gonna stop, because always it's over here. And of course my signature over here, that's my villa, that's where I live. I have some grapes over here, some olive trees, and that's where I shit, and here I slip, and this is some yellow spot. No fucking idea what is that. So everybody, welcome. Just when you're going to be passing by, you will know by this cloud that's the place. That's the orienteer for you. So don't forget the cloud. You will see this cloud, and that's where I live. Just knock on the door, but not this one. This is a cheater. This is where I live. Yeah, exactly. Oh, wait a second. Or is this a cheater? Nah, fucking doesn't matter. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, and yeah, don't forget to tell about this to your mama, your dog, all your cousins and relatives, and tell your sister to call me. Just bye.